Hi Mark, I'm Alice, and my student number is S0141037. And I'm going to read the TED speech. And the title of this speech is "Ismail Nazario What I Learned as a Kid in Jail." We need to change the cultures in our jails and prisons, especially for young inmates. New York State is one of only two in the U.S. that automatically arrest and try 16 to 7 years old as adults. These cultures of violence take these young people and put them in a hostile environment, and the correctional officers pretty much allow any and everything to go on. There's not really much for these young people to do actually enhance their talents and actually rehabilitate them. Until we can raise the age of the criminal responsibility to 18, we need to focus on changing the daily lives of these young people. I know firsthand. Before I ever turned 18, I spent approximately 40 days on the Riker Island, and to add to that, I spent almost 300 days in the solitary confinement. And let me tell you this, screaming at the top of your lungs all day on your cell door, or screaming at the top of your lungs out the windows, it gets tiring. Since there's not much for you to do while you're in there, you start packing back and forth in your cell. You start talking to yourself, your thoughts start running wild, and then your thoughts become your own worst enemy. Jails are actually supposed to rehabilitate a person, not cause him or her to become more angry, frustrated, and feel more hopeless. Since there's not discharge plans put in place for these young people, they pretty much re-enter society with nothing, and there's not really much for them to do keep them from recidivating. But it all starts with the SEALs. It's very easy for some people to look at these correctional officers as the good guys and the inmates as the bad guys, or vice versa for some. But it's a little more than that. See, these SEALs are normal, everyday people. They come from the same neighborhoods as the population they serve. They're just normal people. They're not robots, and there's nothing special about them. They do pretty much everything anybody else in the society does. The male SEALs want to talk and flirt with the female SEALs. They play a little high school kids game with each other, the politics with one another, and the female SEALs gossip to each other. So I spent numerous amounts of time with numerous amounts of SEALs, and let me tell you about this one particular named Monroe. One day he pulled me in between the A and the B door, which separate the north and south sides of our housing unit. He pulled me there because I had a physical interaction with another young man in my housing unit, and he felt, since there was a female officer walking on the floor, that I violated his shift. So he punched me in my chest. It kind of knocked the wind out of me. I wasn't impulsive. I didn't react right away because I knew this is their house. I have no wings. All he has to do is put his pin and back up will come immediately. So I just gave him a look in his eyes, and I guess he saw the anger and frustration just burning. And he said to me, "Your eyes are going to get you in a lot of trouble because you are looking like you want to fight." So he commands to taking off his utility belt. He took off his shirts and his baggage, and he said, "We could fight." So I asked him, "You gonna hold it down?" Now that terms that commonly used on Riker Islands means that you're not going to say anything to anybody, and you're not going to report it, he said. "Yeah, I'm gonna hold it down." "You gonna hold it down?" I didn't even respond. I just punched him right in his face, and we began fighting right then and there. Toward the end of the fight, he slammed me up against the wall, so while we were tussled up, he said to me, "You good?" As if he got the best of me, but in my mind, I know I got the best of him. So I replied very cocky. "Oh, I'm good, you good?" he said. "Say I'm good, I'm good." We let go. He shook my hand, said he gave me my respect, gave me the cigarettes, and sent me on my way. Believe it or not, you come across some SEALs on the Riker Islands that you'll fight you one-on-one. They feel that you understand how it, and they feel that I'm going to meet you where you're at. Since this is how you commonly handle your disputes, we can handle it in that manner. I walk away from it like a man, you walk away from it like a man, and that's it. Some CEOs feel they are joining with you. This is why they have that mentality and that attitude, and they go by the concept. In some instances, we're in it together with the CEOs. However, institutions need to give these correctional officers proper training on how to properly deal with the adolescent population. And they also need to give them proper training on how to deal with the mental health population as well. These CEOs played a big factor in these young people's lives for amounts of times until the disposition is reached on their case. So why not try to mentor these young people while they're there? Why not try to give them some type of insights and make a change, so once they re-enter back in society, they're doing something positive. A second big to help our teens in jail is better programming. When I was in Rico Islands, the huge thing that was solitary confinement. Solitary confinement was originally designed to break a person mentally, physically, and emotionally. That's what it was designed for. The U.S. Attorney General recently released a report stating that they are going to ban solitary confinement in New York State for teens. One thing that kept me sane while I was in solitary confinement was reading. I tried to educate myself as much as possible. I read and everything I could get my hands on. And aside from that, I wrote music and short stories. Some programs that I feel would benefit our young people are art therapy programs for the kids that like to draw and have that talent. And what about the young individuals that are musically inclined? How about music programs for them that actually teach them how to write and make music? Just a thought. When adolescents come to Rico Island, C74's RNDC is the building that's their housing. That's nicknamed Gladiator School, because you have young individuals coming in from the streets thinking that they're tough. Being surrounded by a bunch of other young individuals from all of the 5 boroughs, and everybody feels that they're tough. So now you have a bunch of young gentlemen poking their chest out, feelings that I'm to prove I'm equally as tough as you, or I'm tougher than you and you. But let's be honest, that culture is very dangerous and damaging to our young people. We need to help institutions and these teens realize that they don't have to lead the previous lifestyle they have led when they were on the street, that they can actually make a change. It's sad to report that while I was in prison, I used to hear dudes talking about when they get released from prison. What type of crimes that you're going to commit when they get back in the street? The conversation used to sound something like this. Oh, when I hit the streets, my brother got in a connection for this, that, and the third. Or, my man's over here got this connection for the low price, they exchange information. And, when we hit the towns, we're going to do the real big. I used to hear this conversation and think to myself, wow, these dudes are really talking about going back in the street and committing future crimes. So I came up with the name for that. I called it a go back to jail quick scheme, because really, how long is that going to last? You get a retirement plan with that? Nice little pension, 401k, 403b. You get health insurance, dental. But I will tell you this. Being in jail and being in prison, I came across some of the most intelligent, brilliant, and talented people that I would never add. I've seen individuals take a potato chips bag and turn it into the most beautiful picture frame. I've seen individuals take stand stoves that provide for free and turn them into the most beautiful sculpture that would make Michelangelo look like a kindergarten made it. At the age of 21, I was in a maximum security prison called Elmira Correctional Facility. I just came out of the wage shack from working out, and I saw an older gentleman that I knew standing in the middle of the yard just looking up at the sky. Mind you, This older young gentleman was serving a 33 and a 32 life sentence, in which he already had served 20 years of that sentence. So I walked up to him and I said, "Oh, gee, what's going on, man? You good?" He looked at me and he said, "Yeah, I'm good, young blood." I'm like, "So what are you looking up at the sky from, man?" "What's so fascinating up there?" he said. "You look up and you tell me what you see." "Clouds," he said. "All right, what else do you see?" At that time, it was a plane passing by. I said, "All right, I see an airplane," he said. "Exactly. And what's on the airplane?" "People?" "Exactly. Now where's that plane and those people going?" "I don't know, you know. Please let me know if you do. Then let me get some lottery numbers," he said. "You're missing the big picture, young blood. That plane with those people is going somewhere, while we're here, stuck. This big picture is this. That plane with those people going somewhere, that's life passing us by while we behind this wall, stuck. Ever since that day, that sparked something in my mind and made me know how I had to make a change. Growing up, I was always a good smart kid. Some people would say I was a little too smart for my own good. I had dreams of becoming an architect or archaeologist. Currently, I'm working at the Fortune Society, which is a free entry program, and I work with people as case managers that are at high risk for recidivism. So I connect them with the service that they need to once they're released for jail and prison, so that they can make a positive transitions back into society. If I was to see my 15-year-old self today, I would sit down and talk to him and try to educate him, and I would let him know, "Listen, this is me, I'm you. This is us, we are one. Everything that you are about to do, I know what you're going to do before you do because I've already did it." And I would encourage him not to hang out with X, Y, and Z people. I would tell him not to be in such and such place. I would tell him, "Keep your behind in the school, man, because that's where you need to be, because that's what's going to get you somewhere in life." This is message that we should be sharing with your young men and women. We shouldn't be treating them as adults and putting them in the cultures of violence that are nearly impossible for them to escape. Thank you. I finished my reading. Thank you, Mark. Bye-bye.